Hello everybody, welcome to Coco's Crochet. I'm Litza and today is our Yarn of the Month episode 8. It is Sunday the 8th of December 2024 and I thought I'd come on today and share with you what I made with our Yarn of the Month for December, which was the Jellybaby Glitter Chenille. So we'll get onto this in just a moment. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that need a little refresher to know what this little mini series is about, it's basically over the years I've acquired quite a bit of different yarns, and I have been gifted quite a few different yarns as well, which means I'm very, very lucky and I really do appreciate it. And I thought I would share my experiences with a different yarn in case you haven't used some of them yourself and are thinking about maybe buying them. Also, try before you buy. I think that's very important, because in the past I wasn't as smart as I am now, or as thinking when I was buying yarn I would just buy it when it was on sale, not knowing if it was any good or if I would enjoy working with it, more importantly. So although this is all my experience and what I think of it, it does give you a nice idea of what the different types of yarn are. I personally have had a wonderful time bringing these videos to you, and I hope to continue in the future. But for now, we're going to talk about this yarn, the Cygnet Jellybaby Glitter Chenille. Now, I was very lucky because our friend Liza gifted me this yarn, and there was only one ball in a pack of 3 different type of yarns. So when I saw this, I immediately thought I must use this because it just looks so squishy and soft. So basically what it is, and I'll show you the little ball band, and then I'll show you, a few other colors that it comes in and what I eventually made with it. So this is the ball band for it, and as you can see there's a swan, so that's Cygnet yarn. I'm starting to recognize things like that now, so at a distance I could tell that that's a Cygnet yarn. Now this one tells us that it is a chenille yarn, as we said, and it is a chunky yarn. There are 14 colors and I'll show them to you in just a moment. This one is called metallic, which is a beautiful grey colour. I'll show it to you in a moment. I realise there's nothing in the ball band because I used every single bit of it. So this is 92%. It tells us super soft polyester, and it really, really is, and 8% metallic because it does have the glitter component in there. It's 100 gram ball and 120 meters. Now, I think this part was backwards. I could be wrong, but it does say they recommend a crochet hook 4.5 millimeters and knitting needles 6 to 6.5 millimeters. Now, because of the thickness of this yarn, I think they may have got it backwards, but who am I to say? I'm by no means an expert, but just in my experience, I would have done it the other way around, because I usually crochet with a 7 millimeter hook with our chenille yarn or velvet yarns. So let me show you the colors on the Cygnet website of all the different colors that you can get, and the one that I've got is this one down here, so that one there. So there we go. There are some very pretty colors, not a great range, not a great variety, only 14, but in saying that, they are quite pretty. So if you get the opportunity to purchase them from anywhere where you buy yarns, you might want to give them a go. But I will show you my little swatch in just a moment. Actually, I'll bring it up to you now. Oh my gosh, it really truly is a super, super soft yarn. And it is very comparable to the other color that I matched it up with for my project, was the chenille yarn or velvet yarn that I've had in my stash. In the back here, it's all full of different colors, which came to me in millions, and it actually married up perfectly, the thickness. So let me show you the thickness of this glitter, what's it called? Jellybaby Glitter Chenille. So as I said, I used a 7 millimeter hook when I made my project, but I have dropped my 6.5 millimeter hook. Just one moment, please. Oh, excuse me. You can tell it's early in the morning. So I did end up using a 6.5 millimeter hook to make this little swatch. And if you went down to maybe a 6 or a 5.5, I don't know if I could use a 5 to make amigurumi, I think it would work very well, because these are single crochets down the bottom here. Now that's US terminology, and you can see they're quite tight. So you probably wouldn't get any stuffing through that. And here's the top, guys. So if you're not sure how to use chenille yarn or how you recognize the stitches, a good way is to look for the little V's on top. It is a very good guide, especially for the smaller stitches. And then I went on and did some half double crochets and some double crochets. As you can see them there, they're a little bit gappier. And then I did some clusters. Now it did, crochets up so beautifully, so easily. And then I thought, how are we going to go when we cut it? Because we all know that velvet yarns or chenille yarns tend to fray. Not all I've heard, but all the ones that I've ever used. So this one didn't behave any differently. Now this is all I've got, guys, the scraps in this bag. So let me just show you what does happen if you pull on it too hard, which is exactly what you expect. So it does start to break apart. And then you get these threads here. So you need to be very, very careful when you're cutting it and threading it through your darning needle, because you have to make sure you go backwards and forwards at least 3 times when you're crocheting, and even trying to get, sewing it up, or even through the fiber if you can. So use a pointier darning needle than a blunt one, because you want to catch it in there, because it is a very, very soft and slippery yarn, as you can imagine, and you just don't want to lose all that beautiful work that you did. Now, can you guys see the glitter? It's absolutely beautiful. I can see it there a little bit. So that's the only thing that you have to worry about, I think, when you're using this yarn, other than trying to frog it. Now, I'm going to attempt this now with you guys, because I can see that it's already starting to fray a little bit. Now, you know I love my stitch markers. I cannot live without them. Doesn't matter how big, how long my strip of work is, I always use them. So let's do this together. And the other thing I didn't do is do a magic circle or a magic ring. So imagine I would use the method where you do 2 chains and you crochet back into this second chain off the hook to make your magic circle. But that's only me thinking without trying, because I'm worried that if I tugged on it too much or pulled, it would break apart. So here we go, guys. How does it frog? Oh, actually, very surprisingly, very, very well. So that is awesome. I thought that he might get stuck because of the end, but he really, really didn't. So that is excellent. Oh, you can really see the sparkle there, can't you? Okay, so what did I make with it? Well, you know me long enough to know that it was going to be a lovey. I couldn't think of anything else with the amount of yarn, because I knew that there wasn't very much. And I had this little guy waiting for a little poncho or a little lovey. So that's what I did do. Now, he is one of my bigger stuffies. I wish I had a smaller one that would be more suitable, because I would have got more out of the Jellybaby yarn. But don't worry, we made it work. So we'll dress him in a moment. Now, the pattern that I always use for my loveys is from Z at Zelda NRJ3. So look her up and you will love making these. So this is how far I got it to go, guys. So I managed to get 3 rows, 4, 5, 6 rows out of it. But it does look beautiful with the white. I would have ideally liked to have had another couple of rows down the bottom, but look at how pretty it sparkles. And I think he will be dressed very, very nicely with this now. So if you're not sure what a lovey is, we actually use an elastic, like a hair tie or an elastic, and you crochet around that. So you can actually take it off the toy and wash it, because we all know that little people, and sometimes big people, do get things dirty. So here he is here, all dressed up and ready to go. He is so snuggly and soft with this. Actually, I can't tell you how soft it is. If you've never, ever, ever worked with chenille yarn or velvet yarn, I highly recommend you get your hands on a ball, especially if it's this nice Jellybaby one, which is nice and glittery. I do believe that they also have it in plain colors, so that's something to keep in mind. But it is so soft and beautiful. I'm sure some little person will absolutely love cuddling this little guy now that he's all dressed up in his poncho. That's what I like to call it. Anyway, so that's it. Like I said, I married it up with a white. Worked perfectly together. I had no problems at all. Because I have worked with chenille yarn before, I was mindful of, cutting, threading very carefully and sewing very, very well. I did try to get through some of the fibers as well as I was, sewing in and out, so that it would actually, make it harder for the yarn to escape. So that's it, guys. If you ever get your hands on Jellybaby Glitter Chenille, highly recommend it. I'm sure that there are a few different places you could buy it. You don't have to go to the Cygnet website. I personally haven't looked at the prices because they vary all over the world, and there could be prices, you know, that are on sale at the moment. I don't usually buy my Chenille yarn from overseas at this stage because I'm very lucky that I got, like I said, all this area here is full of different color yarns that I purchased the velvet yarn in Millions a while ago at a very good price. But who knows, in the future, maybe I'll get an opportunity to purchase this. But once again, thank you so much, Liza, for giving me the opportunity to work with this yarn. It certainly is a beautiful yarn. And if, you know, I come across it again, I'd be very grateful. So where are we going with this series, guys? So let's end on that, because I have really enjoyed bringing it to you. And I know how much you guys enjoy it too, because from your comments, you know, we interact. A lot of us join in about your experiences with the different yarns. Some of you, you know, have been thinking of buying it, like some of the past episodes, and said, oh, this is great. Now I know what to do with it and how it behaves. Some of you have joined in. I know Thea, I think for the first 3 or 4 episodes, she was able to join in because she had the same yarns that I was working with. So it has been a great little mini series. The interaction and the community feel that we've had with it has been awesome. And the fact that I've been able to showcase and highlight some of the beautiful yarns I've been gifted has been a bonus. So in saying all of that, I'm going to have a little pause on this mini series just for a little while, because it is the end of the year and I'd like to think about what I'll be doing in 2025, what I'll be sharing with you. But rest assured, we will be coming back to yarn of the month at some stage, because I look around and there are so many yarns that I haven't even touched myself to play with, to experiment with, you know, to see how they feel and act. And I would like to share that with you. So when the opportunity comes up where I have enough time to do that again, I certainly will be. It may just be a pause for a very short time, but if you've enjoyed this series, or if you just come to us today and you're curious and interested in what else we've had to showcase, please go and visit our playlist. We'll try to link it in the description box so it's very easy for you to find. Otherwise, it's just sitting there on the channel. So thank you once again for joining me today for another fun yarn. I have to say that it really does live up to its name and how they describe it. Cygnet, well done. Another great yarn available to us. So here it is here, guys. If you get the opportunity, try it yourself. So until I see you all very soon, take care. Bye-bye for now.